AC Milan, the 21-22 champions of the Serie A. Last season managed to get back into the top four, but fell short of a dominant season from Napoli. With Tonali leaving this summer as well, they are in need of a little bit of a rebuild, with a few players needing to come in to replace outgoing players and building around some top talent at the side already. Today, we're going to be rebuilding AC Milan. AC Milan are quite simply one of the biggest clubs in the world, with 7 Champions League trophies to their name, 19 Serie A trophies, 2 Cup Winners' Cups, and in the recent times, you can see from the graph, they've won a few Serie A trophies, but the last 20 years have certainly not been as good as previous. And today it's our job to rebuild Milan back to the very top of Italian football and hopefully world football as well. They have lost their star man Sandro Tonali to Newcastle with a massive fee of 70 million as he heads over to the Premier League. And our goal today is to try and replace him. And with that transfer, we've got a lot of money to spend. And one player they are heavily linked to in real life is Dejani Reinders from AZ Alkmaar. £12 million is what we paid him. A very good, progressive, young Dutch midfielder who's hopefully going to take us to the next step and hopefully be a good enough replacement for Sandro Tonali. And that right wing spot as well. They've already signed Christian Pulisic, already signed Luca Romero. They are also heavily linked to Samuel Chukwueze from Villarreal, 25 years of old, full of pace and a fantastic player at that as well. Great determination, great dribbling, and we were lucky enough to pick it up on a free transfer as well as on the game. His contract was coming up, so it managed to save us a little bit of money, which was quite nice because we actually didn't get any money from the Tonali transfer in FM. Noah Okafor also coming into the club, heavily linked with AC Milan and also Juventus, a fantastic young Swiss international who has played many games as well for Basel and RB Leipzig, so is extremely experienced at just 24 years of age, and hopefully it's going to be a fantastic backup to Olivier Giroud for this first season. Fabiano Parisi is another signing made at left back as a backup to Theo Hernandez, who we know is absolutely unbelievable in this game. If you've seen from the tactic test yesterday, he is quite literally outrageous as a complete wing back at left back, but Fabiano Parisi is going to be the backup to him. And in terms of outgoings as well, there's a few players that are heavily linked to outgoings with AC Milan in real life, and number one is Charles de Ketelaere. Now, a very poor first season, it has to be said, and we managed to get £3.2 million for him. He's heavily linked to leave in real life, so I thought I'd make it as realistic as possible and get rid of him. £27.5 million spent on him just 12 months ago, and things have not gone well for Charles, and it looks like he's going to be out the door in real life too. Another few players that are looking to leave in real life. Number one is Alexis Salamakers. Now, he has joined RB Leipzig for a measly fee of £6 million, and I think this guy is fantastic on FM as a winger on support in our first AC Milan and Pioli rebuild 4 or 5 months ago. He was outrageous in the right wing role, but to keep the realism, he's had to go, as well as Ante Rebic, who's joined Real Sociedad. Again, a measly fee of just £4 million, so we were really strapped for cash with this rebuild, and a lot of players just were not going for much money, including Divock Origi going to Villarreal for £5.5 million, another decent player, but also out of the door. And after that, it was Fede Ballo-Torres left for £1.8 million. So money-wise, we did not have a lot to spend, but luckily AC Milan have got a very strong squad as it is. And as you can see on screen, we have built Stefano Pioli's 4-2-3-1. Now, this tactic in the test yesterday did fantastic. Winning a treble in the first season with the Champions League, Serie A, and the Italian Cup coming home. Hopefully today, things are going to be a little bit more difficult. The club of AC Milan as well actually has fantastic facilities with 19 training facilities, 18 youth facilities, good junior coaching and youth recruitment as well. And obviously an unbelievable stadium in the San Siro. In terms of young talent coming through, there's a few players. To be fair, they've got a massive squad. There's no one actually that good. Under 20s is huge. Under 18s is just a few. But I find that of a lot of Italian clubs, just a lot of players, a lot of dead wood that need to be moved on. But season 1 looking to be very exciting. We are set to play in the Champions League, the Serie A, in the Italian Cup. But the question is, how can we do and what can we win? Well, in the Champions League, we did not win it this time around. We got knocked out in the round of 16 to Atletico Madrid, 4-2 on aggregate. Sadly, a trophy we'd have loved to win in season number 1, but was not meant to be. And the same goes in the Italian Cup as well. We knocked out in the quarterfinals to Sassuolo in a 1-0 defeat. Inter Milan went on to win it, the arch rivals, sadly not winning either of the trophies available to us. But can we win the Serie A trophy? Of course we can. It's AC Milan. We've won it 2 years ago and it's time to win it this season as well. 93 points on the board, 76 goal difference and 33 goals for this man, Olivier Giroud, including 6 assists. And the guy's 38 years of age and has absolutely smashed it. In terms of the stats, we scored 99 goals all season, conceding just 23 goals. So we're defensively sound, we scored lots of goals, and we even kept 55% of the ball as well. So a very, very strong performance from us there. Rafael Leao doing absolute bits with 14 goals and 11 assists, an average rating of 7.37. And I mentioned this man marauding down the left-hand side, Theo Hernandez, 3 goals, 16 assists, and I'm hoping he is never going to leave us because he is outrageously good on this year's game. And Theo Hernandez is just probably the best left-back there is, to be honest. In terms of the rest of the squad, Tian Rinders, the brand new signing with 14 goals and 5 assists. This guy is heavily rumoured to come through in real life, and if he does and he puts up a season like that, I think AC Milan fans will be very, very happy indeed, including the results of this man as well. Christian Pulisic with 10 goals and 12 assists from that centre attacking midfielder role. He was absolutely fantastic. Samuel Chukwueze with 8 goals and 7 assists, also very, very good, scoring a decent amount of goals off the bench, just playing 24 games all season, but putting in some absolute numbers. Loftus-Cheek with 6 goals and 9 assists. Tamori coming through with 4 goals as well. And one man that I do want to mention who didn't get too much game time is Luca Romero. Now this guy's got a variable potential on FM, and it seems like in this save the potential's there, but he's not getting played enough and he's not really growing. 17 games off the bench, just 1 goal for him. After a decent career so far over at Lazio, he's come here and he's not done too well. So it'll be interesting to see what we can get out of Luca Romero. We've got a grand total of £77 million to spend to improve this club even more. Now, we don't want to just win Serie A trophies. We want to lift an 8th Champions League trophy as well in this next 5 years. That would be fantastic. And maybe even a 9th as well, because who knows. But let's get forward then. Season 2. Let's have a look at the transfers we can make. With Luca Romero's first season not going exactly to plan, Christian Pulisic is moving out to the right-hand side, meaning we need a couple of new central attack midfielders. And number one is a player that's been here before. It's Brahim Diaz. He had 2 fantastic seasons on loan before going back to Real Madrid in real life this season. Now, FM predicts he's going to get a few minutes, but not quite enough to keep him happy, and he's going to want to come back to AC Milan. And we have brought him back in as well for a grand total of £22.5 million. Fantastic 25-year-old centre attack midfielder. Great low centre of gravity, is fantastic on the ball, great dribbling, first touch, determination, loves a big match, extremely consistent, and I'm buzzing to bring Brahim Diaz back home to AC Milan. And one man that's going to hopefully compete with him in that cam role as well is Pedro Goncalves, another fantastic signing in my opinion for just £26 million. He played 32 games last season for Sporting with 7 goals and 7 assists, and he's now come in to AC Milan with 16 finishing, 16 anticipation, some great pace, extremely consistent, and is hopefully going to be battling with Brahim Diaz in that cam role. Obviously, they could also, both of them could take the right wing role from Christian Pulisic. So some great backup and competition in the attacking line, and a right back to give some backup to David Calabria as well is young man Brandon Soppy. Now, Brandon's got some fantastic pace, some great dribbling, and is just 23 years of age. He's been on loan out at Antwerp this season after signing for Atalanta from Udinese, and we decided to bring him in for £22 million, quite some profit for Atalanta that is, but a great signing in my opinion to be a backup to David Calabria, who is an AC Milan legend. Certainly going to need someone a bit younger to push him even further, and the squad is looking extremely strong. We've got Goncalves now in that cam role as the main change in here. Tian Rinders as well being the starting central midfielder over Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Backup wise, we've got Chukwueze, Okafor, Brahim Diaz and Romero for the front 4 backups, which is extremely strong, with Tommaso Pobegba and Ruben Loftus-Cheek as the backup midfielders. Now, Pobegba, I haven't mentioned yet, is a fantastic Italian central midfielder. Just 25 years of age still at this point. He wants a new contract. Let's give it to him because he's extremely consistent. He's 6'2" and is an absolute destroyer midfielder who's hopefully going to overtake Ismail Benitez at some point in this rebuild. The competition screen, we've now got the Italian Super Cup to hopefully try and add to our arsenal again. Hopefully we can win 3 Serie A trophies as well out of 4 seasons. That would be absolutely lovely for the last 4 years. AC Milan fans, I'm sure you'd absolutely love that, and hopefully as well a better showing in the Champions League. After getting to the quarterfinals last time out, it'd be nice to get to at least the semis in season number 2 and maybe even lift the trophy. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, I've never seen a trophy come down to this. A league title coming down to the last day of the season where we've got a playoff game against fellow 90-pointers Roma. Now, you can see already we scored 2 absolute screamers and we absolutely battered them 6-1 to win the trophy. But we come down to the point where we're both on the exact same points, and in Italy you don't go down to goal difference, you have a little playoff game, which is absolutely awesome. Roma did get one back, but Reinders from the corner is going to find Giroud to make it 5-1, and the 6th goal is going to come from Calabria to Pedro Goncalves. Calabria ball at the top to Noah Oakfall, who's going to set it in to Tian Reinders, who had another fantastic season this season. And I wonder, is the Serie A trophy the only one we've won? No, it's not. We've also managed to win the Italian Cup final as well, a 5-2 victory over Sassuolo. So an absolutely dominant season, and I'm going to again show you the highlights of this one. It's going to start off with a ball from Rafa Leao to find Pedro Goncalves to put us 1-0 up in this one. The second is going to come from Leao again on the ball, find it to Samuel Chukwueze, cleared. Delia Cabria is going to score a volley from 25 yards out into the top corner, followed up by an absolute screamer from Sassuolo. Tomori's going to find Chukwueze on the left-hand side. He finds Rafa Leao, and it's 3-1. The 4th goal is going to come thick and fast as penalty from Tommaso Pobegba, and another one here from Ruben Loftus-Cheek, driving forward, finds Samuel Chukwueze, finds Pedro Goncalves, who's playing in the striker role in this one, before they go ahead and score a second to make it 5-2. But how outrageous is that? We've won both trophies, not the Premier League, the Serie A trophy and the Italian Cup final. And like I said, the Italian Cup is absolutely fantastic to win, but the Serie A trophy, both teams on 90 points. We had 6 better goal difference, but it all comes down to a playoff game, and I have never seen that in my time on Football Manager. Olivier Giroud with 30 goals and Pedro Goncalves with 27 goals, 31 goals and 6 assists all season. Remember, we signed this guy for just £26 million, an absolutely outrageous signing in Pedro Goncalves. I'm telling you now as well, it's going to get even better as we go forward. Olivier Giroud was 7.51 average rating, and is sadly his last season in professional football. He's got 46 goals and got 6 assists, so he ended things on a massive high. But the question is, did he win the Champions League in his last season as well? No, we lost in the quarterfinals to Real Madrid, who ended up losing in the final to Liverpool. It was 5-0 on aggregate. We got completely outclassed over 2 legs, and sadly we couldn't bring home that trophy as well. But we did do a treble. The Super Cup we went into win as well. A Giroud brace, a Pulisic goal and a Thuram goal for Inter. Even though we were down to 10 men, 3-0 up, we managed to hold on and win 3 trophies in season number 2. So very happy with the outcome of this season as well, and I'm extremely happy with the signing of Pedro Goncalves. Rafa Leao had a fantastic season as well, 19 goals and 20 assists this season. Brahim Diaz, 10 goals, 5 assists. Samuel Chukwueze really come into his own this season as well with 8 goals and 23 assists. Free signing as well, remember that. So an absolute baller to get in on a free contract. Assist-wise, I want to see how Theo Hernandez did. 1 goal and 10 assists this season. Unbelievable left back, let's be honest. A fantastic player to have in the side. And again, this summer, £75 million we have got to spend. So some outrageous money to hopefully go out there and move us even closer to being better. We need to replace Olivier Giroud, which is going to be impossible. You know, basically 80 goals in 2 seasons. You cannot replace that, but the Champions League is the one we want. We want to bring home number 8. So season 3, that is the goal. We're going to go ahead and hopefully win the Champions League at least in the next 3 years. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left the club for season number 3, £10 million. He has moved to Lazio. Time for us to move on to bigger and better things. And a fantastic signing we have made is Luka Sukic from RB Salzburg. This guy is a fantastic talent on Football Manager, and for just £14 million, so just £4 million more than Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We got someone 7 years his younger. We keep that height dominant press in midfield. He's not the most consistent. He's a little bit injury prone, but he's absolutely fantastic on FM every single time I've used him. So he has come in to the club, and I mean, we're trying to replace Olivier Giroud. There's only one man that really came to my mind, and that is Evan Nielsen. Now, trying to be realistic here at AC Milan as well, I could go out and get, you know, some crazy players, Haaland, etc. But trying to keep things realistic realistic. I think Evan Nielsen, the next step for him from Porto is to come to an Italian side, and that side is AC Milan. That scored 11 goals last season in the Portuguese league. Hopefully he can turn that in to 30 in Serie A. 16 finishing, 16 composure, already worth £90 million. Loves a big match, extremely consistent. Hopefully we're going to see the best from him, and if he doesn't score all the goals, there's going to be a decent backup in his way as well. It's Marcos Leonardo, signed from Santos in Brazil, now in 2025. He's now 23 years of age. Again, £14 million, not too outrageous. Scored 11 goals as well last season. Extremely consistent, loves a big match, 16 finishing, 16 composure, decently paced as well, and probably gives us a bit of a different dynamic to the bigger man in Giroud or Evan Nielsen. And then talk about a different dynamic and a new backup centre-half coming in. It's Levi Colville. Now, this might not be so realistic. He's linked to AC Milan, to Liverpool in real life, or potentially going to stay at Chelsea. But in this version of the game, he has played 10 games for Chelsea last season and 4 the season before, and has not progressed quite as well as you'd hoped. And I thought with Tomori coming from Chelsea a few years back now, Levi Colville to AC Milan on loan for a season to see what he can do in Italian football was actually quite a clever and smart signing. The team now is looking extremely strong. He has replaced Calabria at right back. It's now Pobegba and Sukic in midfield, moving away from Benessa and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, so slightly younger midfield now and looking very, very strong. Pulisic on that right-hand side, Pedro Goncalves, if you can pick up some of the goals Giroud was scoring as well, you know, maybe reach 40 this season, that would be incredibly helpful with Leao and Evan Nielsen up top. And again, the backups are strong. Sportiello, Calabria, Colville, Malik Tour, Parisi, Reinders, Benessa, Chukwueze, Brahim Diaz, Okafor, and Marcos Leonardo. And again, in terms of the academy here at AC Milan, we're starting now to progress some 5-star players through the academy, and hopefully they can see some game time as we get into sort of season 5. Potentially, they are only 15 years of age. I mean, these save ups are available for you guys on Patreon, and a massive thank you to Patreon members on screen right now as well. These rebuild files are all available down there, top of the description. So if you are interested in playing with this AC Milan side, make sure to head down to the Patreon. But let's get into it. Season number 3. Can we win the Champions League? Still no Champions League trophy. Quarter-finaled by Chelsea, sadly this time. And again, we have not managed to win the trophy that eludes us. The Champions League is the one big trophy left we need to go and complete. And this season as well, we didn't even win this the Italian Cup. We managed to get knocked out by Inter Milan, losing 4-1 in the return leg. We won 3-1 in the first leg, but knocked out in the second, sadly, by Inter. We did manage to win the Italian Super Cup. We only played Sassuolo. A 3-0 victory in that one is very good to see. But the question is, how do we do in the Serie A? Well, we won it again on 92 points. We seem to be an extremely consistent side. We managed to win the league every single season. 87 goals, 23 conceded. It's a very similar story to the rest we have had. We are outscoring everyone. We are not conceding as much as everyone else. And this season, we've not even got a dominant top goal scorer. And that is great because it means the goals are coming from everywhere. 25 goals from brand new signing Evan Nielsen. You know, 15 less than Giroud managed to pull off, so it probably shows how good Olivier Giroud was, but still an extremely impressive season, his first in Italian football, and I'm very happy with the signing of Evan Nielsen. Rafa Leao with 23 goals and 8 assists, helping very much from that left-hand side as well, progressing into one of the best players in world football. Pedro Goncalves, I asked him to step up to 40 goals. He dropped down to 15, but 12 assists, and again, as a cam, that's absolutely fantastic. You can't look for much more than double-double in the figures as a central attacking midfielders. And Samuel Chukwueze, again, season number 3, his second season at the club, has stepped up massively. 14 goals, 11 assists, and an extremely talented player. Christian Pulisic is still working wonders at 28 years of age, 11 goals and 12 assists. Again, as a right winger or a backup cam, he's filling in for Chukwueze and Pedro Goncalves. He is doing fantastic. Brahim Diaz isn't quite getting the results I maybe expected or hoped, but is still proven to be a fantastic player. 7.07 rating in average rating is still extremely impressive. Even if he's only scoring 7 goals or 5 assists, he's still a pivotal player to how we are playing. And this time, 8 goals from Teo Hernandez and 10 assists. Pretty outrageous for a left-back to score 8 in a season, nearly get a double-double, but very happy with how he is doing as well still. At Development Centre, there's still some outrageous players coming in. I mean, the youth is really starting to progress. Giovanni Secchi, as a 17-year-old centre-back/DM, looks incredibly impressive. Fabiano Sigioli as well. I think both of these guys are going to come in to the first team over the next couple of years and see what they can produce for us. Still, the Champions League trophy though is the one that eludes us. We need to win it by the end of these 5 years. So let's get some signings in. We've got a grand total of £73 million to spend. So let's go splash some cash and win the Champions League. Well, Christian Pulisic has left the club. He asked to leave to go and pursue a new dream. And that dream is apparently back in England with Arsenal. So bit upset to get rid of him. It was actually a free transfer. I believe his contract ran out, which is value of 40 to 60 million at Arsenal is extremely high. And I said I wanted to splash some cash, and I did splash some cash on a fantastic player. It's Mohamed Kudus. Now, this guy has a 4-star current ability, a value of between 150 and 180 million pounds. We spent 85 million pounds on him, which, yes, is extremely expensive, but I think it's quite a realistic player signing. Sometimes the value on FM isn't quite as realistic as I hope it would be. I mean, the other day I spent 104 million on Levi Colville at Liverpool. So if you want to see that one, that video is down in the description. But Mohamed Kudus here with 150 million pound value is extremely impressive. A fantastic right winger, and is certainly going to be able to replace Christian Pulisic. And as you can see, this was actually our only signing of the summer. I think the squad is extremely strong. We're extremely consistent. And I brought in a couple of the youth guys I previously mentioned, Siganyofi and Sechi have come in as backups to the side. And the team is now really progressing very nicely. There's, green lines all over the place, which is beautiful. The one missing is Soppy to Kudus, and I imagine we're not going to be so soppy at the end of this season because they're going to link up fantastically down that right-hand side. That is the goal for this season. This team is so ready to win a Champions League trophy. So season 4, can we go 4 years in a row of winning the Serie A? Can we lift our second Italian Cup? Can we win another Italian Super Cup? It's all to come for season 4. Let's find out and see how we win it all. We had another Serie A playoff. I've never seen it, and twice in a rebuild it comes down to a playoff to win the Serie A trophy, and we lost it to the other half of Milan this time out. A 1-0 defeat to Inter Milan. We actually got dominated in the game, which is extremely infuriating. Would have liked to have lifted that one. Another playoff though. I've never seen it, and twice in 4 years here in the Serie A. But the Champions League, we have won it this season against PSG in the final. Starting off with Jamal Musiala, finding Ward-Prowse for PSG, who finds Mbappe still here in the future, and he's going to put that one into the back of the net. Let's speed things up a bit. PSG on the ball again. No, they're not going to make it 2-0. We don't want to come back like this, are we? Jamal Musiala is going to make it 2-0. We really are about to have the comeback of all comebacks. Mo Kudus, the brand new signing, on the ball, finds Benessa in DM, finds a great ball to Rafael, heads it through to Brahim Diaz, who I said hasn't been at the top of his game this rebuild so far, but a great goal there. Pogba to Diaz to Evan Nielsen, a great ball to Mo Kudus, and every bit of that 85 million is looking worth it now. With 20 minutes to go, Theo Hernandez and Alphonso Davies are battling down the left-hand side. Brahim Diaz a ball to Mo Kudus. And what a signing to lift AC Milan the Champions League trophy. And we've finally completed it. We've won every trophy possible. The Champions League is now in our arsenal. And we actually would have won every single trophy this season if we won that playoff game against Inter Milan, because we also won the Italian Cup, a 1-1 victory against Udinese on penalties, and the Italian Super Cup was a 1-1 victory on penalties against Inter Milan. Just imagine that one game would have done the quadruple, would have completed the rebuild in season number 4, but sadly the Inter Milan have stopped us from winning 4 in a row. The absolute numbskulls have stopped it, which is heartbreak, because it would have been great to complete it all. And one man who absolutely popped off this season, I said last season maybe didn't score enough goals, Evan Nielsen. 54 goals in 53 appearances. I said it might have been his first season in the Serie A. 25 was impressive. Well, 54 in his second is absolutely outrageous. 30 goals in 32 in the Serie A is absolutely fantastic. 16 composure, great off the ball work. And in terms of the Serie A, he was the top goal scorer with 30 goals. 4 clear of Lautaro Martinez, and both of them at 12 clear of Victor Osimhen. Top of the average ratings list. Second in average ratings was Rafael as well. Gucci sent Max actually at Inter Milan. I mean, I absolutely hate the fact that he probably whacked on us and ended up winning them the league, which is a bit heartbreaking. But Brahim Diaz certainly a bit of a better season this one with 11 goals and 12 assists. One player who did fall off quite drastically is Pedro Goncalves with just 3 goals and 2 assists all season for this man, which, considering he had a 35 plus goal season just a year ago, 2 years ago even, that's pretty bad and of quite some fall off. So glad Brahim Diaz managed to certainly step up to the plate. Mo Kudus as well, 15 goals and 15 assists. Fantastic signing. Scoring 2 goals in a Champions League final makes every single bit of that £85 million worth it. Season 5 then is simply about trying to win all 4 at once. I mean, we need easily to bring our Serie A trophy back to the better side of Milan. We've got some serious money again to go and spend, this time breaking over £100 million to go ahead and spend. I mean, you probably wonder what the finances are looking like here at the club. Outrageously good still. We've not dipped in the red once. This club is just printing money, and we are printing trophies here at AC Milan. Season 5, let's go ahead with another 2 or 3, shall we? Let's get into it. And at this point, when you're champions of Europe, potentially the best team in the world, it's hard to get carried away and bring in some absolute top talent. And the man we've brought in today is Xavi Simons. Now, as I record this, I believe today, as you're watching this, he should have signed for RB Leipzig and PSG and gone out on loan there. Outrageous the career this guy's had. I think he's a fantastically talented player in real life, and I think at RB Leipzig he's going to progress massively. But here today at AC Milan, a £63 million signing after having a season at FC Bayern, scoring 8 goals and 3 assists. He's done it on the big stage. He's now come to the biggest club in Europe in AC Milan. Hopefully he's going to have a fantastic season. Extremely consistent, loves a big match, great flair, first touch, composure, agility. He really is a great all-round player. And the only other signing we made of some serious money was Arthur Tiete as well. Fikayo Tomori is now 30 years of age, which is crazy to say, and is slowly starting to drop a little bit in stats and losing that fantastic pace he does have. So Arthur Viete is coming in, a £48 million signing from Rennes in France. Fantastically talented centre-back as well. 17 heading, 16 marking, 14 tackling, great anticipation and bravery. He's going to be a fantastic partner for the man, the myth, the legend that is Pierre Kalulu. And the only other signing we made as well, with Mattia Perrin coming in as a backup goalkeeper. He's 2-star ability and is simply here to help out for numbers. Tijani Reinders was fantastic in the first couple of years. He is now left to go to Atalanta after 126 games in the famous red and black. So massive respect to Reinders, obviously signing in real life as well. Big props to you. Fantastic career. The team is looking fantastic, isn't it? Manyan, Sopi, Kaluli, Fiete Hernandez, Benesa Simons, Leao, Kudus, Goncalves and Evan Nielsen. This is one of my favourite rebuilds because we've kept the team very AC Milan-like. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players from the very start of this rebuild out of the 11 are still here 5 years into the future, which is fantastic. So buzzing to see that. We've still got a few of the wonder kids, the youth ones through the academy in here as well, and you can see now this development centre page is becoming better and better every single year. The club info and the club vision still extremely strong. Season 5, let's win it all. We've got 4 trophies, in fact 5 because the UEFA Super Cup to go and win. Let's go win it all, shall we? 5 trophy Milan for season number 5. We start off the season then with a victory against Inter Milan in the Italian Super Cup. A 1-0 victory in extra time, meaning we've won 4 out of 5 Italian Super Cups in this rebuild. We moved on to the UEFA Super Cup, the first time we've had the chance to win this one as well. And we won it in extra time against Chelsea, making winning habits and our first of the season. So 5 trophies so far already in this rebuild, counting up. In the Italian Cup, we did not win this one. We did not get 5 trophies in the last season overall. We have 7 trophies now after 2 in the Italian Cup. The Champions League, we also did not win this one. Now 8 trophies. We did win that just last season, and the last season in the Serie A as well. It wouldn't be right if we didn't win this one, making things 12 trophies in 5 seasons here at AC Milan. Extremely impressive, 93 points to finish off the season again with an outrageous goal difference. Just 18 goals conceded all season. The signing of Arthur Viete was certainly a good one. 88 goals. The squad doing absolute wonders. 35 goals for Evan Nielsen, 19 for Leao, 10 for Diaz, 10 for Kudus, 9 for Pedro Goncalves, 7 for Hernandez, 7 for Leonardo. And you're wondering as well what other rebuilds are on the channel. Well, just down in the bottom right corner there is a Liverpool rebuild that was released just the other day, an AC Milan rebuild today, and an Inter Milan one to make the Milan rivalry coming out on Thursday. So keep it locked, subscribe to the channel, like the video and watch that Liverpool rebuild.